if you're getting the lens and you're doing like there's a bit of poo there, I nearly put my arm in it. Hi! Right guys, hello there guys, welcome to another video, another kind of review. It's to talk about one of my favourite lenses actually, which I've recently purchased. I've had to come out here and shoot in the light because inside is too dark now. I hope I don't lose the light behind me, but it looks awesome, right? Okay, so I've done this video to talk about the Sigma 20mm 1.4. Oh my god, like 2 previous videos I've done, I talk about this lens, and like I'm literally drooling over it because it's such an amazing lens. Like Sigma are killing it now with their art series. They do 35mm, they do 85mm, they do 18 to something, and they're all like below f2, which is like a photographer's dream. If you shoot portraits, even some landscapes, cityscapes, stars is very important to have low aperture. Yeah, so this lens pretty much fits a lot of photographers. 20mm 1.4, crazy. I mean, like, look at the lens on that. Look at the front element there. It's just huge. And then you open the back. Crazy looking thing. Look how much light that lets through. Amazing. So this is built well. Plastic and metal. Rear element, full metal, metal mount. So I think the build quality is pretty sturdy, pretty hefty on this. The focus ring is nice, not as nice as some of the Canons now on this lens I've got, but it is kind of milky, it's kind of smooth. It does smoothen up after you've been using it for quite a while. It was quite sticky to begin with, but that's like other Sigma lenses and other normal lenses as well. Like they do soften up once you use them. Yeah, you've seen some sample footage with this. Like I did in my last video, pretty much all the B-roll shots, the shots with music over basically, were all done with this. This is a great lens for filmographers, for people who want to shoot short films, people who just want to have fun with the lens, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not crazy expensive. One of the Canons, the 35mm 1.4 is, I don't know the price, but I'll put it up on screen. It's probably over £1,000, nearly £2,000. This lens, 600 quid. This lens is £600, and the glass, it's a crazy amount of elements, and yeah, I know. I don't know how many elements, but the glass is pure quality, guys. It's insane. It gives off really nice flare that I showed in my last video. I'll put up some shots right now that you can see that I've taken with this lens. I've had it about 2 months now, and yeah, it's for photo and film, amazing. So the visual film that I have coming out, called Autumn Leaves, I've used this for pretty much every single shot in my film. So yeah, I'm very excited to keep using this lens. Autofocus, manual focus, I mean manual focus I've already talked about. It's very smooth. Once it kind of softens up, it gets very smooth. Autofocus is okay. It's not extremely fast like this little lens, which only costs 200 quid by the way, with Canon's new STM. But yeah, it's not that quick. I would say if you're filming, if you're getting the lens and you're doing like there's a bit of poo there, I nearly put my arm in it. Yeah, if you're filming, I would recommend to keep it in manual focus. But with previous Sigma lenses, the autofocus is absolutely horrible. I mean, you put it on your camera and you can't film yourself with autofocus because of the juddery sound. I've tested this. It's not too bad actually. Actually, let's test it right now. Right, so, oh god. I hope I'm in frame at the moment. There's a lot of twigs around me. Yeah, I've had to plant the Joby so strongly to hold that lens because it's so heavy. Yeah, so this is in AF right now. I think it's servo. Yeah, this is servo AF. So you can hear little bits of, well, I can hear juddery bits. But it's not as bad as the previous Sigmas, where they used to be like really bad. There you go. I've got a mic recording my sound at the moment, so I'm not sure if that's picking that up. But there is a little bit of sound there. Yeah, you can hear it there. I'm not sure if I'm in focus. Is that doing a good job? I don't know, you guys tell me. I'll look back on the footage, but let's have a look at the distance. Okay, the minimum focus is like, yeah, my hand's about 3 inches now. So it's good, you can get up right close to your subject and get them in focus. Right, so I've got this on manual focus right now. It's at 1.4 ISO 100, even in this light. It's crazy, the aperture you can get on these lenses. So yeah, shooting at 1.4 right now. You can probably see that I go out of focus really easily. I don't know where I've gone now, so hopefully I'm in focus now. Another thing to mention, a lot of people have some cons about these lenses, that they give off an immense amount of vignetting around the side. Now, the thing is, I haven't really noticed that because I'm shooting on a aps-c size sensor. It's a Canon 7D I'm shooting on. And I can't really see that much vignetting. I mean, when I shoot and when I edit, I apply some vignetting anyway. I like to really dark out my shadows and stuff in post when I do my edit on my images. But when I'm shooting in, you know, just normal film, I'm yet to see quite a big vignette. So at the moment there doesn't really seem to be one. But when I do upgrade to a full frame camera, I think I will be able to see a lot difference, because this is now shooting to 20mm, so you crop it by the Canon crop factor, which is 1.6, so 20mm times 1.6. So I'm shooting at 32mm right now, which is still a good focal length. It's nice for, it's a good focal length for stars, possibly a good focal length for landscapes as well, definitely street photography and portraits. Another thing to remember is you have to crop also the aperture. I learned this from Tony and Chelsea, their YouTube channel. I never knew this before, but when you're shooting on an aps-c size sensor, you have to crop the aperture as well. I know I didn't believe it at first, but they had all the data and the proof from DxOMark, I think the website's called. So 1.4 times 1.6, the crop factor. So I'm shooting at 2.2 at the moment, which is still a really low aperture. Still, you can get the nice depth of field, the thin line of focus, and you can get blurry backgrounds. So that's a plus right now. I'm really excited for when I get a full frame camera that I can actually shoot the right millimeter for this lens and the right aperture. So I'm really excited for when that comes in the future. But right now this is the test for the aps-c size sensor, and I think it is pretty well. This lens is really sharp, by the way, in the middle of the lens. I put up some sample photos over me talking so you can see what I mean. So yeah, really sharp lens in the middle. So it does, I mean, this is what I had. So let me talk about this. Apologies if that went a bit out of focus just then while shooting on the Sigma. It's just because the Canons don't have a bloody flip screen. I mean, come on. My first camera, it was like a Canon PowerShot, but the bulky one, right? And even that had a flip screen. And now all these cameras that are coming out right now, 5D Mark IV, Canon 7D Mark II, for kind of the enthusiast professional level, they don't have flip screens. It's so frustrating trying to do a sit-down video. It's okay for vlogging like this, because for vlogging I use my lens, the 10-18, and it's a beast at autofocus. It doesn't make a sound, it autofocuses really quickly, but when you're using a nice lens and you can't see what the hell you're looking at, it's incredibly hard to know you're in focus. So I apologise if it was a bit out. I was getting to a point that I had the decision to buy the lens first or the full frame body first. Now obviously price-wise the lens is way cheaper than the bloody camera body that I was looking to buy, either the A7R2, you guys know that I want to switch to Sony, like I've said in previous videos, so the A7R2 or the A7S, but I think it will be the A7R2, even if it's not a Sony, just a full frame camera, because I've been shooting on these 7Ds for a very long time now. For my situation, I thought it would be better to buy the lens first. I mean, I know that it wouldn't be exactly 20mm, I know it will crop to 32, and I know the aperture would have cropped to 2.2. So, I mean, with that, I mean, it's still a very good aperture to shoot at if you want low light shots, if you want nice blurry backgrounds and stuff, and still a good focal length. I did have the 24mm 2.8 from Canon. Now, that's an EF lens, which means it's for full frame. So even so, that on my body would have been a 38, and it would have been an f4 or something, nearly f5. That was slightly less what it was giving me from the Sigma lens, so I just went and bought the Sigma lens. When I finally get the full frame camera, I'll trade in the 70 or whatever, that I know I'm going to have a little more hype when I change it. I mean, it's giving me hype now, but then there's that extra like, oh, I can get more millimeters now and I can get lower aperture. So I think it's going to give me like another boost with the lens. So yeah, that was my situation anyway, just to buy the lens first. Because some people, they don't know that if they put one lens on APS-C it crops, vice versa with full frame and APS-C, they don't know that it cropped. So do your research and know which lens you're buying, and know what the focal length is going to give you and the aperture is going to give you as well, depending on your body. So yeah, really look at it and decide what you want to do. I mean, there's no rule to buy lens or body first. I mean, loads of people say either or. I think split down 50-50, but it just depends on your situation, I think. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I did say before that I was going to make one of these videos about the lens. Right, let's show off the 2.2 on my camera, but let's show off with the sun now, it's nearly gone, what this lens can do. This is probably really close to my face, is it? Did some focusing, autofocus tests with that, with these little red, pinky blossom things. Yeah, it does hunt quite a bit. I was shooting on 1.4 and then I put it in f5. It does kind of hunt. It did to do slightly better when I put it in single AF instead of servo when it tracks. With these conditions, it's quite hard anyway because it's low light. It's sunset now and you're trying to find focus at 1.4. It did struggle a bit even at f5 as well, but then again I said, like, when you're shooting on this lens you're probably only going to use manual focus for film, and when you're casually shooting you can use autofocus in daylight and stuff. I mean, if you're shooting like fast things or running and stuff, to try and clock focus at f1.4, that'll be probably impossible to do. You'll get a load of blurred shots. I have in the past with people just walking. Yeah, it's so hard to get that line when you're shooting at f1.4. But don't forget, this lens can go, I think it can go up to f16, and yeah, it's a nice focal length to shoot at, like I said. So yeah guys, but I think it's the perfect lens for, like, if you just want to have fun with it. f1.4 at 20mm, I know I keep saying it, but it's such a unique variation with millimeters and f-stop. And once it's on a full frame camera, I mean, it'd be even more kind of magical, kind of dreamy kind of effect you'll get with it. I do like vignetting. It's kind of what my style is anyway. So I think this lens will fit in very well with what I shoot and what I film. So yes guys, I think that does it for this video. I mean, this is crazy looking right now. So I'm going to shoot a bit more. Guys, I hope you like it. Thumbs up for kind of more quirky reviews like this. I don't really go into that much depth of stuff in reviews because mainly it's the case that I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I've mentioned like the main things with this camera, with this lens. And yeah guys, I hope you like it. So I'll see you in the next one on Sunday. Goodbye. See you in the next one.